Shanti, and welcome to Awakening with Brahmakumaris. Yesterday we all felt the beautiful vibrations of Madhuban. Today, let us explore Gyan Sarovar, the Academy for a Better World, a place for learning, application of spirituality in personal and professional life.
It's a beautiful place.
This is an academy. It's called Gyan Sarovar Academy for a Better World. Started in 1995, and it was a beautiful sight the way it's happened. It's really been like a miracle, because this whole land, it's on 27 acres right now. This whole land was declared barren. It was barren, and nothing was being done on this land. And we actually saw this land before this academy was constructed. Just rocks, that's all, nothing. And land was received by the organization from the government for development. And today, if you see, gardens, vegetation, fruits, everything has been done. And the whole government is surprised as how can anybody have these kind of gardens and vegetation on this barren land. And everywhere, if you see it very closely, they have not changed the topography of the land. Wherever the rocks are there, along the line of the rocks, the buildings have been constructed along. So from the point of view of infrastructure and architecture, it's really been a miracle, this whole construction of the academy. And it was started with the purpose of having regular workshops, retreats and conferences for those people who yet haven't learned meditation, haven't yet come to the centers, but would love to come here and stay for 3-4 days and have meditation experience and learn practical application of spirituality. So at the Brahmakumaris, there are 18 wings related to different professions in society today, like business and industry, medical, administrators, science and engineers, media, youth, women, 18 wings like this. And every week there is a conference of one wing. So delegates from all over the country and even out of India sometimes come and stay here for about 4 days. And there are regular sessions on spiritual application for that particular profession and practice of meditation.
Fantastic.
So
and no charges?
No charges, yes. For coming here and staying here in Baba's home, there are no charges ever.
But we can put anything in Bandara?
Yes, of course, anybody who wants, because everywhere there are the Baba's box, we call it, or Bhandari. But that's really never ever the focus. Emphasis is never ever given on that.
What do they teach here? Basically, the most important thing must be meditation, Rajayoga meditation.
The Rajayoga foundation course, which is about knowing the self, knowing God, Shiva Baba, the process of meditation, the karma philosophy, the cycle of time, that's called the Rajayoga course, which is taught at every center. It's also taught here. But when we're doing programs for the different professions, every morning, 6:30 to 8, is the Rajayoga meditation session. Where you have knowledge of self, knowledge of God, time, karma, philosophy every morning. But the rest of the day, the sessions are about their profession, their organizational structure.
Okay.
Let's say if it's business and industry. Then we're talking about emotion management while working, team spirit, time management, relationships, leadership skills, those kind of topics, which are going to have spiritual principles, but related to their day-to-day life. So people are able to relate to it and are able to take it back home to start working on it.
How many brothers and sisters must be working in Gyan Sarovar, Panda Bhavan, and such a huge area, and so many things you showed me today. The kitchen, the Toli center, and this hall. So you need so many different kind of skills.
Absolutely. It is total in all the three complexes, there are about 2,000 brothers who are serving.
No, but you need electricians, you need car mechanics, you need, taking care of the air conditioners and hall and sound.
Actually, it's very interesting is that, of course, many come here with their skills, but many have come without the skills which they are using today. And I don't know whether it's a blessing from Baba that you get or what happens, but suddenly, suddenly you are doing something which you have never done before.
You just pick up.
Yeah, and you are suddenly becoming very good at it. Mm-hmm. So, because everybody does with this intention that I am an instrument. I'm an instrument, and whatever seva I'm getting, I have to do this. Sometimes you get a seva which you've never done before and you don't know how to do it, but it's the need of the hour. It needs to be done that time. And we are taught, say Hanji. Say yes. Just say yes and surrender your mind and intellect. Let him use you. It is his task. Let him get the work done. If I use my intellect then and say, no, I can't do it, I'm not good at it, then it's gone. But if I'm able to have that faith and say, okay, yes, I'm ready to be here, I'm available, but I don't know how to do it, but I'm available. And if he has to get something done, he can use me. And that's,
I can understand this very well because I've never done this kind of a program ever in my life. Done more than 300 films. I've never interviewed or talked to people because I'm used to just reading dialogues, remembering dialogues, and speaking dialogues.
True.
But here I don't know what next I'm going to ask, what are we going to talk. And so many episodes done with you.
True.
And this is also, I think, from my point of view, Baba Seva.
But from my point of view, that's been the same too. Because now that awakening has been on air for so many years, but still, every time we do a program, it's such a beautiful experience as if we're just sitting absolutely blank. Don't know what to say, don't know what's going to come out next, don't even know which direction the whole program will go in, don't know what's going to be the topic sometimes, and just have to surrender and say, okay, we're here, and whatever is needed by the people who are going to watch this program. So it's actually between the father and his children, and which is instruments. And so many episodes till now, and every time it's been an experience that don't know what's coming out.
Now you can't
get to learn while speaking it out, actually.
Now you can't doubt how and whether Brahma Baba was also an instrument used by God, Shiva Baba.
Oh, but that's a completely different thing.
Why wasn't, you said he was an instrument.
Yeah, but that was a completely different thing. That is when Shiva Baba enters the body of Brahma Baba and uses his mouth to speak.
And this is what?
And this where all of us can feel that we are instruments and we are being used. But that doesn't mean that Shiva Baba enters the body of anybody or Shiva Baba uses the body of anybody to get it done. But all of us have qualities here, skills which we have probably never used now, but our ego stops us from doing it sometimes. But when that divine intervention, which means if you just silent your top layer of the mind and you surrender to him, means you get his touching, his powers, his blessings, and that he will use you to do this work, but that doesn't mean he takes over you physically.
He gives you the strength and wisdom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That he will give you that wisdom, he will give you the blessings, and you will be able to carry out the task. But what was being done through Brahma Baba is that he was using his mouth literally, physically. The Supreme Soul uses the costume to give the Gyan to the children. That's different. So all the souls here, all the brothers and sisters are doing all the seva with that purest intention that we are doing seva to reach out to all the people who are coming here and all over the world to give God's message, God's knowledge the art of working on ourselves, we're sharing with everybody. So with that, everyone's working. It's a very beautiful management system where so many young brothers are working, and there's no one sitting on their head, trying to see who's doing what. There's no kind of a leader or a boss checking over them. They're self-motivated. They are doing it on their own. They're not doing it for anybody. So you don't require to check whether they've done it the right way. So the whole management system is like flowing on its own. Anybody looking from outside would think as if things are happening on their own. Can't see who's getting it done from who. You don't get that feel from anywhere. It's as if everyone's just doing it on their own. And it's like in the 1990s, when this academy was not yet ready, but Pandav Bhavan, Madhuban, what we saw earlier, Mr. KVK Raju, who was the chairman of Nagarjuna Fertilizers in Hyderabad, he left the body after that, but he had come to Pandav Bhavan, Madhuban, and he spent 1 week there. Just stayed for 1 week in the campus, and he just said, I want to be on my own, no program, nothing, just want to stay here. What he did in that 1 week was, he had nice conversations with everybody, all the brothers, and no one knew what was really happening. He would go into every department where bread is being made, milk is being boiled, tailoring is happening. And he went and talked to each one of them. What is your background? How much have you studied? Why are you here? Did anybody force you to come here? Are you happy here? Do you feel like going back? That very nice personal chit-chat he had with everybody. And after 1 week, he went to Dadi Prakashmani ji, who was there. And he said, I have realized that many are not very highly educated over here. Some are very highly educated. Some have come from a very simple background. And none of them are being paid. And there's no promotion system that, okay, if you work so hard, you will be promoted to your next level. What is this incentive for these people to work like this round the clock, 365 days of the year? No Sunday, no holiday, no leave.
No money.
No money, no promotion. And he says, back in my industry, I have MBAs, PhDs, I give them huge salaries, I give them so many incentives, and yet there is something or the other happening every time. What is it? He had one precise question. He said, what is it you have which I don't have? And Dadi used to speak in very few words. So she answered only one word. And she said, spiritual power. So he said, okay, then I want that spiritual power. And he asked Dadi to give him 2 sisters from here. And he took 2 sisters and took them back to Nagarjuna Fertilizers. He gave them a small apartment there. He said, here, you stay here, open a center here, and now teach my staff what your brothers are taught over there, so that they will also start working like how they are working. Till then, the Brahmakumaris was only teaching the 7-day Rajayoga meditation course, the foundation course. And he said, no, you can't teach my people only about soul and karma, God. You have to teach them how to work here in the industry. And those 2 sisters didn't know. What should they teach them? They only knew meditation and about soul and God, that's all. He said, no, you have to teach them there. Stay here and prepare material to teach them. And both the sisters had very beautiful experiences where they used to just connect to Baba in meditation and say, why have we been sent here and what are we supposed to do in this company? We've never done anything like this. And they were really taught. They learnt what they have to do. And that's when the first corporate training course was developed, which is called Self-Management Leadership Program. And they started doing self-management programs there. And it's been now over 15 years. There is still a center in the Nagarjuna premises. And everybody comes to the center, goes for meditation in the meditation rooms. But from that one program, today Brahmakumaris go to so many corporate houses all over the world, not just India, but all over the world, conducting leadership programs, management programs based on spiritual principles. So service just goes from one level to another, just and how it just all works out like this. Someone becomes an instrument for seva.
I understand now. God is limitless, so
Absolutely.
limitless energy and limitless powers, and it can spread to any place
And
and
that's
anywhere.
why we understand, because when we are on a spiritual journey here, we have 4 subjects: Gyan, Yog, Dharana, Seva. Gyan is knowledge. Like this entire series, we've taken Gyan. It's knowledge. Second is Yoga, the meditation. Third is Dharana. Dharana means whatever knowledge we've learned, now inculcation of values, divine qualities. And fourth is Seva. Whatever learned, whatever experienced, now share. Share in whatever way you can, whether it's through mind vibrations, just share good wishes and beautiful vibrations, send it out to the world through words and through actions, physical. So we say Mansa, Vacha, Karmana Seva, and as we do Seva,
Yeah, you were talking about the corporate sectors coming here or for different functions. So that is why the training center is here.
absolutely, the training center which we just saw, it has 13 training rooms. And so simultaneously trainings are carried out here. Like sisters go to the corporate houses all over whichever cities they are in. But similarly, groups come here for training, whether it's those wings, the professional wings, or they are corporate houses, they are NGOs, they are public sector units. They come and stay here and do those self-development programs here. School teachers, principals groups. So the training center caters to the training facility. And this hall where we are, it's the auditorium of Gyan Sarovar. It's called Harmony Hall. It has a capacity of 1700. And like Pandav Bhavan, this also has translation facilities in 12 languages. So this campus would have accommodation for about 1,000 and dining and meals facility for groups of those numbers here. And every week there is a group of about 700 to 800, 900 programs going on here.
Huge. Real seva.
Regular programs going on.
This is really service to God.
Absolutely. And as we saw the dining area and the kitchen, there are dedicated brothers and sisters cooking round the clock. And there are mothers who come for 1 month, they stay here and do seva in the kitchen. And right from after 4 o'clock, Amrit Vela meditation, 5 o'clock they go directly into the kitchen. And they start for breakfast, and then after that lunch, and after that dinner. So round the clock seva goes on in the kitchen. Kitchen is because they have to do it in a very silent and meditative state of mind, not shouting and under stress. So it has to be done very nicely and peacefully. And for all the complexes, we're using solar power for cooking. It's probably the largest solar cooking system in Asia, where so much of cooking is happening using solar power. And now in Shantivan, the complex that we will see next time, a huge solar power plant is being set up, which will even provide electricity for the campuses. So a lot of emphasis is laid on using natural resources, like there's a water recycle plant, mineral water plant, solar power for cooking and for electricity, so that the whole campus becomes self-sufficient and everything can go on smoothly without dependency too much on external factors.
All these corporate trainings and the programs which are happening here, are they based on spiritualism?
Yes, because when you're talking of leadership skills, time management, team spirit, relationships, practice from the basis of spirituality.
And also Rajayoga meditation.
Rajayoga meditation is taught to all of them who come here. In fact, they themselves want to learn it because, see, corporate training goes on worldwide at different levels. Everybody does so many training programs. But it's the spiritual power which is missing in those training
That's why I'm
programs.
asking you, this must be something different from what's happening all over the world.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, nobody will come so far.
No, it's working.
Mahaprabhu.
It's working totally. It's not working on words and behaviors. It's working totally on thoughts, belief systems, attitudes, changing belief systems, and doing that with the power of meditation.
So this must be teaching those people who work in the offices or factories or big companies to have more acceptance and more love and more compassion. So they must be changing from within.
Absolutely. But of course, it's very important that once they go back, they continue the practice. Otherwise, you cannot change.
No, but at least they're learning. This has to be changed, not from the outside like a plastic smile and a hello, how are you, this, that, and a concern, a feeling. And also the best part I learnt here during this stay with you all and discussion, that I am talking to a soul to a soul. And that makes so much of difference, because I still remember seeing a movie when I was a child, when one of the kings who loses in battle, and the other king asks him, what should I do with you now? Put you behind bars or kill you or what? He says, do what a king does to another king.
Absolutely.
Treat a king
like a king. Very true.
Like you would be treated,
Absolutely.
Like if tomorrow you a king and I am a king, and tomorrow if you are captured, then what?
This gives dignity. This is dignity. This is respect. Respect not for position, but respect for the person. Today we're giving respect for positions and status, not permanent. But when we really understand I'm a soul talking to another soul, it becomes genuine respect. Respect which doesn't have to be created, but it naturally flows because I understand you're a pure, beautiful soul. Respect will naturally flow, and it will not change if your position changes tomorrow.
The best part here is whether it is the corporate guys, school people, I saw the other day doctors, nurses, and everybody. The base comes back to love, compassion, and soul to soul.
Soul consciousness.
Soul to soul is the best thing.
Absolutely. And everyone who comes here also, they can feel it. That the love that they're getting from the brothers and sisters here, it's not for their position, but it's a very natural, and that's why they feel that when they've come here, they feel like family. It's family feeling because of soul consciousness, that everybody is practicing. Okay, we haven't reached, where it is 100%, but at least it's there in the mind, it's there in the attention. And so those vibrations of soul consciousness give a very family feeling.
Thank you so much, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Wonderful family. I enjoyed it.